Welcome back to season 2 and episode 3 of Wave of the Union. I am Liz.
It's your girl Stefaniecrown.
And yeah.
In this climate of female empowerment, another powerful change is taking place. For the first time in the 226-year history of the New York Stock Exchange, a woman will be the new president of the country's money hub. Currently, the COO, Stacey Cunningham, will be moving up even further in the ranks. Congrats, by the way. Fighting your way through a male-dominated industry is no easy task, but it's definitely a necessary one.
Banks are back doing untrustworthy bank things again. They have just enjoyed their most profitable quarter in history, while the Trump machine has been slowly erasing the CFPB. What does that mean? Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The agency set up after the last financial crisis in 2006 to protect people against nefarious acts from banking institutions. A law was recently passed removing Obama-installed bank regulations. Experts say a crisis is more likely to happen, but the signs will be harder to notice. These actions will cut the frequency of stress tests, basically bank checkups to keep them honest. And though the bill was pitched to lessen the burden on small banks, large banks now have greater clearance from the feds. Basically, a Pandora's box has opened for banks to do what they please. Shoebox savings account? Or no? Starting from this past Friday, personally, this started with Cardi B.
Party gang.
No shade, no tea. All shade, all tea. Pusha T and A$AP Rocky both released highly anticipated albums, and we are set to see new albums from Kanye West, Nas, Drake, Georgia Smith, Travis Scott, and a collaboration with Kanye West and Kid Cudi. Nicki Minaj and potentially Migos solo albums. Summer 2018 is gonna be fire.
All right, be proactive. I feel you. America is home to the world's biggest prison population and has the greatest percentage of its citizens in prison. Trump has parties split over a newly issued prison reform bill that does entail positives. Actions including $250 million in new funding for societal reentry programs, a shackling ban for pregnant inmates, and early release for elderly inmates. All good things, but potential band-aids when compared to a bigger issue of overhauling sentencing laws. The issue becomes accept the short-term fixes or fight for greater long-term solutions. Since 2002, the United States has had the highest incarceration rate in the world. The idea of privatizing prisons, turning the system into a business, is also uniquely American, and it's a foreign concept to many people overseas. As advanced as we are, in countries like the Czech Republic, prisoners with minor offenses automatically get their records cleared upon release. This clearly helps to give them a much easier transition back into the real world. For those of you not familiar with Tay, she's a 9-year-old kid who is social media famous for mainly talking a lot of shit.
Lil Tay out here on the top of Beverly Hills. I run this beat. Who do you see doing it like Lil Tay? I'm the youngest one doing it. I run LA. I got shooters there, here. I got shooters everywhere. No one gonna try cross Lil Tay. Look at this view.
At 9 years old, she's clearly being exploited. In an interview with ABC, her mother mentions people are not in on the joke. But is this really that funny? Pushed and coached by her older brother and mother, we'll have to see how all of this plays out. In the same ABC interview, Tay stated she dropped out of Harvard and could not recall where Harvard was located when asked. Is there a line to draw, or are we just broke-ass haters? The world may never know. She's a spoiled
Lil Nay.
9-year-old.
Lil Nay.
Lil, why do you have 2.1 million followers on Instagram? Lil, why are you not disciplined?
I have nothing to add to this. I will not encourage it. I will not give it any type of clout.
Lil, why do you have a management team at 9 for screaming at grown men about how you're richer than them?
That's it. Forget the 0.1%ers. They used to be the shit. But espérate. There's a new elusive monetary class for people to join, and that's the 9.9%ers. As a group, it has more wealth than the other two groups combined. So there's the bottom 90%, top 0.1%, and the 9.9%, a group which will continue to grow. As of 2016, it took 1.2 million in net worth to join the 9.9%. If you cannot get 1.2 million, let's not be greedy, people. There's still room for the 200 to 300,000, which is not that bad, which will pay out your student loan, the debt that you have in credit cards, that fancy new car that you want, buy you and your mama a nice ass house, take that vacation to Ibiza that you've been wanting. And yeah.
Wow, Ibiza.
That shit looks lit. Motivate! Steph, if you had 200 to 300,000, what would you do with that? I know what I would do with that.
Start a savings account for my daughter. Definitely getting a new car, because once you have kids, like a regular 4-door car, there's like not enough space for anything anymore. So I'd want to get a new car, put a down payment on a house.
That sounds beautiful, because you're thinking about your family. I am paying off debt, paying off my mama and daddy's debt, buying them a house, taking them to Greece, buying a farm, turning that farm into an animal sanctuary.
Oh my God, you were serious about that?
I was never playing. He's smart as fuck. That's what's happening. He's intellectual.
No, he's intelligent.
He's an intellect.
Intellectual. Smart.
So let's get into this smart ass chats with
Let's get
Charles.
smart with chats with Charles.
Let's get smart with chats with Charles.
Let's get smart.
Yeah.
They're trying to create a situation where you form this bond with this person and you feel like you can trust them. Because years ago, when there were regulations, you could trust people like Walter Cronkite. You could trust the news media because it was required by law to give the news. It wasn't required, there was no opinion, it was, and those are the facts. And now it's 20 seconds of oh my God, 14 people killed in IED bombing outside of Mosul, and we'll get you the names later. And then 40 minutes of 6 people sitting around a table just barking at each other. Well, I mean, if we hadn't gone into Iraq in the first place, there wouldn't be a problem with IEDs. Well, where are they getting the information to get these IEDs? Well, where did they get where did they get the money to pay for the things that they traded for this and that and the other thing? You scare people. I think that the objective facts are buried at times. That it's become a situation in which you don't say something as a journalist about some things that you know. I know this for a fact. I know multiple journalists that have said, I was told not to report on this because X, Y, or Z. When you're not allowed to be reporting on something, how's that not objectively taking the facts out of the conversation? Because you can't react to something if you don't know it ever happened. It's lying by omission. Fake news is a really funny thing because you've got all these people who are all linked up in those groups, and the truth nowadays perpetuates itself in a weird way because the truth is not allowed to be the truth if it conflicts with somebody's thought process and somebody's desires. And this is Chats with Charles.
Charles makes it easy for you to talk to him though.
Yeah, he's not he doesn't push his opinion down your throat. It's simply a conversation. It's a calm back and forth.
He did say that he was nobody wants to have a conversation no more. Nobody wants to sit down and be honest and have that conversation about anything. Everybody runs away or whatever. So
True.
Yeah. So I like that. Charles, you smart. Party game.
You're kicking a ball with your feet.
Madrid. Let's rock on. Let's get lit.
It's this. So that was season 2, episode 3. Hope you guys loved it. Of course, more stories will be coming. Please make sure to subscribe, leave a comment down below, and follow us on Instagram at waveoftheunion, and make sure you follow me and Liz on IG and Twitter.
Don't use the Europe.